This guy is considered by many to be the most cruel serial killer in history. He once said that he had absolute hatred for humanity, and to prove it, he even stole a former president's gun, just to start a killing spree with it. But his story didn't begin there. No, this is how a monster was made. You see, his childhood was misery in human form. His parents forced him and his siblings to work on the farm all day. When truancy laws forced them to attend school, their parents didn't care. They sent them to school during the day and back to hard labor through the night. They were only allowed to have 2 hours of sleep, causing chronic sleep deprivation. But that was just the beginning. By the age of 5, he was already a skilled thief and a compulsive liar. At 6, his alcoholic father abandoned the family. At 7, his older brother drowned. And by 8, he was already in trouble with the law, sent to a juvenile detention center for stealing from his own mother. But what happened inside that detention center changed everything. He claimed he was beaten, tortured, and abused by staff. He entered as a troubled boy. He left as something else entirely, a ticking time bomb. At just 11 years old, he committed his first murder, killing a 12-year-old boy whom he said tried to bully him. But instead of being locked away for life, he was released. Why? Nobody knows. He hated juvenile detention. It was then that he decided he'd had enough of being locked up, and one day he put his revenge plan into motion. He set the detention facility on fire and escaped. 4 people burned to death in the flames. After that, he embraced destruction. He went on a spree of burglary, arson, and violent robberies, leaving chaos wherever he went. He was eventually captured and sent back to the reformatory. But prison could not hold him forever. He was released on parole at 14. And what did he do with his freedom? He tried to kill a Lutheran cleric, then ran away from home and dove deeper into crime. By now, he already had a long criminal record, and he was a full-blown alcoholic. But his crimes were about to escalate even further. In a drunken rage, he joined the U.S. Army. But discipline was not for him. He attacked officers, disobeyed orders, and ended up in a military prison. He later said, "Any shred of humanity I had left was beaten out of me in that prison." When his sentence was over, he was kicked out with dishonorable discharge, and he returned to crime immediately. Only now he had no limit. He drifted from town to town, assaulting children, committing arson, breaking into homes, and robbing people at gunpoint. He was in and out of prison under different fake names. He escaped custody many times. But then came the moment that turned him into a legend of fear. He broke into the home of a former U.S. president, stole jewelry, and stole his gun. That gun became his signature, and soon it would be used for murder. Using the stolen money, he bought a yacht. He started hiring sailors, pretending to need a crew. But once they were far from land, he got them drunk, murdered them, and threw their bodies into the sea. When he was eventually captured, he didn't pretend to be sorry, not even for a second. His first words in prison were, "I will kill anyone who tries to bother me." And he meant it. When a laundry room worker annoyed him, he warned him to back off. The man didn't listen, so he smashed his skull with an iron bar. That murder finally earned him the death sentence. But even on death row, he refused to change. He beat prison guards who always retaliated by beating him up and was constantly thrown into solitary confinement. His famous last words were, "I have no desire to change, but to change those who want to do it with me by killing them. I regret not being nice to animals, and I also regret that I am dying before I could kill the whole of humanity." Then his last words to the executioner were, "Hurry up, you idiot. I could have killed a couple more men while you're still fooling around." His name was Carl Panzram. But here's the part they never tell you. What did the courts discover about his past that made even investigators shake in fear?